Alright everybody, how we doing today? Ready to move on to the next story? So, from Reuters, Islamic State silent on Baghdadi death as it searches for a successor. This is in Cairo, and it says Islamic State supporters have responded with silence and disbelief days after the death of their leader, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, suggesting a breakdown in the command structure of the Sunni militant group trying to agree on a successor. There's been no official statement or mourning on Baghdadi on Islamic State's IS official Telegram channel since U.S. President Donald Trump announced on Sunday his killing at the hands of Special Operations Forces in northwestern Syria. Its Amaq news agency Telegram has been continuing business as usual, posting since Sunday more than 30 claims of attacks in Syria, Egypt, Afghanistan, and Iraq, praising its fighters. There's also been less chatter among jihadist supporters on social media compared to the killing of al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden in 2011 and other militant leaders. Analysts said the remains of Islamic State's leadership were in a state of shock, probably trying to keep the group together and to agree on a successor before confirming Baghdadi's killing. There is probably right now chaos inside what is left of the leadership. Key aides have been killed and documents destroyed, said Hisham al-Hashimi, an Iraqi expert on militant groups. Hashimi sounds very similar to the Japanese word sushimi, which is raw fish. I know people think that sushi is the raw fish, but no, sushi is a mix of fish and vegetables cooked in a particular way. People often get sushi mixed up with sushimi. It's a very easy thing to do. It sounds very similar, though. That's why I thought I'd point that out. It's kind of funny. But, yeah, we did it. I mean, it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf, but the truth is, we may have actually successfully killed Baghdadi. And this will actually weaken the Islamic State group. If they can lose their leader and lose pretty much every fortified position they had, that really harms their credibility as a group anyone would want to join. I mean, who wants to join the loser, am I right? This is what we do. In general, not just America. I don't want America involved any further. But for those who are still in there fighting ISIS or IS or whatever the hell you want to call them, Islamic State in Syria, just keep going after their leaders. If we take them down one after another and hurt their credibility, find ways to hurt their credibility, the group will no longer be a threat. Sure, some of them will still be around, some of the more die-hard, dedicated people, and then you'll spend the next few decades cleaning them up. But if you want to eliminate them as any serious threat, then that's what you need to do. Going forward, they will want to agree on a successor before announcing the death, he said, adding that a split of the group could delay this. The group might also need to rebrand itself since, using Baghdadi's declared Islamic Caliphate was no longer appropriate, having lost the swaths of Iraq, Syria, and Libya its fighters used to control until 2017, analysts said. Many of Baghdadi's followers were also killed, Trump said on Sunday. On Tuesday, he wrote on Twitter the U.S. military had likely killed the person who likely would have succeeded Baghdadi as Islamic State leader. Trump did not specify who he was referring to. But a senior State Department official on Monday confirmed the killing of Abu al-Hassan al-Muhajir, Islamic State spokesman and a high-ranking IS figure in an operation separate from the one that killed Baghdadi. It took al-Qaeda, another Sunni militant group following a similar ideology, which carried out September 11, 2001 attacks on the United States, supposedly, several days before it confirmed the killing of Osama bin Laden in a U.S. raid, said Ayman al-Tamimi, a researcher at Swansea University focused on Islamic State. About 6 weeks passed before the group announced a successor to bin Laden. Islamic State could announce the death in their weekly newsletter, which could come out on Thursday if they were able to agree on a successor, said Tamimi. He said Haj Abdullah, a deputy of Baghdadi, was his likely successor, provided he was still alive. There had been conflicting reports before whether Baghdadi was still alive after the Islamic State lost its last significant territory in Syria in March, reporting since then to hit-and-run guerrilla tactics. His last audio message was in September. There's been less chatter online among supporters of militant groups compared to the times when militants were previously killed. Social media platforms such as Twitter are now quicker at deleting accounts linked to militants, while several Arab countries have stepped up online surveillance that forces users to constantly change encrypted accounts. Of those Islamic State supporters who went online after Trump's announcement following an initial stunning silence, many voiced disbelief or dismissed the news as fake. A Telegram account linked to the IS warned supporters not to believe an alleged image announcing the death. The message ended with "God Almighty preserve him," suggesting the poster still believed Baghdadi was alive. Other supporters seemed ready to embrace his death, urging supporters to continue the jihadist fight in any case. Whatever happens, the jihad convoy moves forward and will not stop even if the state is annihilated, one supporter wrote on a personal Telegram account. Tamimi said there was not much mourning, as many militant supporters were glad to see Baghdadi because he had, in their view, damaged the jihad project by his group's cruelty by meting out punishments such as amputations of legs and hands. Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, the Sunni group formerly known as the Nusra Front, in which dominates Idlib in northwestern Syria, where Baghdadi was killed, praised his death. The only regret they had was that they hadn't killed him instead of U.S. forces, said Tamimi. You know, I wouldn't be surprised now if they start really quickly advancing high technology among ISIS, and suddenly they discover a new mineral, and they start saying, Baghdadi lives in death. And then that's how they become the Brotherhood of Nod. And just like Cain, he just keeps coming back. Because that's what it was like in the past, with all these news reports supposedly reporting, oh, we killed Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. Oh, we killed Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. Oh, no, wait, never mind. Like I said, it was like the boy who cried wolf. But this time, I really do think they probably got him. For the simple reason that the way many of the people involved with ISIS are reacting seems a little too genuine. Like they really believe he's gone. Some of them even apparently suffering from some measure of cognitive dissonance. Like they know he's gone, but they don't want him to be gone. But to finish this article off, in contrast to Islamic State supporters of Al-Qaeda quickly accepted Baghdadi's death, according to US-based site Intel Group, which monitors jihadist websites, how much blood has been shed in the name of his imaginary caliphate, posted Sirajuddin Zarakat, a former official in a former Al-Qaeda-linked group, Brigades of Abdullah Azam site said. Late on Monday, hardline Saudi Sunni cleric Abdullah al-Muhaisini also published an 18-minute video praising Baghdadi's death, urging followers to quit IS. For some, Baghdadi's death might be the final straw to quit the group and go back to Al-Qaeda, said Elizabeth Kendall, senior research fellow in Arabic and Islamic Studies at Oxford University. I really think he's dead. The reactions of the people are consistent with that scenario. We got him. I think we did. Now that we've done that, now that we've accomplished that goal, let's stay out of Syria. Let's leave the Islamic State, the real-life equivalent of the Brotherhood of Nod. Let's leave them to the Syrians and to the Russians, as well as to the Turks. Let them deal with it now. As well as dealing with the YPG and other similar militias, which as far as I'm concerned, are just as reprehensible as the Islamic State. They're just as bad, if not worse, in their own way. Make no mistake. Anyway, peace. Cain lives in death.